Airport workers. What is the most heartbreaking goodbye you witnessed? My father, James, was British but my family lived in the Philippines. A few years ago, his cancer worsened, and he had to return to the UK for treatment. My sister, Clara, was 8 at the time, and because of some complications with her citizenship and passport, she needed a visa to go with my mom. I didn't require a visa, so we were planning to follow my dad shortly after he left. We sent him ahead, hoping to join him soon. I thought it would be a short separation, a few weeks at most. But then the embassy denied my mom and Clara's visa applications. They were devastated. I remember arriving at the airport with them, all of us carrying small suitcases and hearts full of hope that this would be a temporary setback. Clara clung to my dad as if she could physically hold him back. She wouldn't let go of his hand. Security had to step in, gently telling her she had to return to us. She ran after him once, screaming, and they had to carefully guide her back. I stood there, holding my mom's hand, watching my father walk through the gate, knowing this would be the last time Clara would see him alive. Her wails echoed through the terminal. She kept asking why she couldn't go with him. She didn't understand visas, bureaucracy, or why the system was keeping her apart from her father in his last days. She only understood that the world had suddenly become cruel and unfair. A few days later, the denial letter arrived. I had to fly alone to the UK to be with my dad. I spent the entire flight staring out the window, gripping the armrest, thinking about Clara's face and the way my mom had tried to hold her composure while comforting her. By the time I landed, I felt hollow. I was there for the last few weeks of my father's life. The cancer progressed so quickly that he passed before my mom and sister could even attempt another application. I stayed with him, held his hand, and tried to make him as comfortable as possible. He asked about Clara constantly, and it broke me to explain that she couldn't be there. After he died, the worst part was telling my mom and Clara that they couldn't say goodbye in person. Clara cried for hours. She didn't understand why her father wasn't there, why the world had been so unkind. My mom tried to stay strong, but I could see the sorrow in her eyes. The embassy's decision, which I still can't fully comprehend, had robbed them of their last chance to be together. You sent. I had to fly back to the Philippines alone, bringing my father's ashes with me. The entire trip home was silent. Clara wanted to hug the urn, but was too young to fully understand. My mom and I tried to explain, to comfort her, but there was only so much anyone could say. The absence of my father in those final moments left a hole in our hearts that hasn't healed. Even now, years later, I can't think about that goodbye without feeling the sting all over again. I still see Clara reaching out at the airport, her tiny hand in his, refusing to let go. I still hear her wails and the gentle instructions of the security officers trying to make her understand. I still remember the weight of my father's hand in mine, and the despair in my mother's eyes as we had to let him go without her. The entire situation was compounded by the fact that we had done everything right. We had all the documents prepared. Letters from the hospital, proof of school enrollment for Clara, sponsorship letters from my uncles, our lease, even a rushed 24-hour visa application with all fees paid. And yet, it didn't matter. The system, for reasons I still don't fully understand, possibly related to Brexit or bureaucratic technicalities, denied them entry. A child couldn't see her dying father, and a mother couldn't be with her husband in his final moments. To this day, the loss of my father is still painful. Clara asks about him often, and while we talk about him and share stories, nothing can replace the moment of goodbye that was stolen from us. Every time I look at her, I see the memory of that airport, the fear, confusion, and heartbreak etched into her face. The only thing I could do was bring my father's ashes home to my mom and sister. Even that small act, though deeply important, didn't fix the absence of him during those crucial days. The memory of that goodbye, Clara's hand slipping from his, her tears, and the way security had to intervene, will stay with me forever. It's a pain that lingers quietly, a reminder of how fragile time is and how cruel life can be when circumstances, bureaucracy, or fate intervene. Every holiday, every family moment, I feel the gap left by that stolen goodbye, and it's a wound that never fully heals. Even now, I carry him with me in memory, in ashes, and in the stories I share with my family. But the heartbreak of that airport goodbye remains the sharpest memory of all.